Yeah, I ran from yes, from that database.
Okay. Okay, so first thing is we have to create three databases. Okay, so
Right.
this is the three databases we are having. Facets. This is where we will create all the core tables. Facet stage, where we will create all the stage tables. Okay, now where are the stage tables and core tables? So I have shared the requirement document, right? So in this Excel file, we are having separate tabs. Okay, so one is for stage table, another is for core table. So for those two different tabs, we have to create a two different databases here. And one last we are having custom. So here we will be going to have our all the custom tables and the stored procedure that we are going to create. Okay, so some of the tables we are having that are there under this work tables tab. So these we are going to create under the custom database. But yeah, I have not talked about this as of now. Just create these two tables here. Okay, two tabs table in two different databases. Now, post that we have seen yesterday, like we have to load the data into the master tables. One is a provider master and another is a uh, member master. Okay, and those are the tables, those are present into the core database. Okay, and for that the first let's see, first table, provider table, cmc prpr. We have given the mapping, and the mapping is from all the AdventureWorks database. So we need to take the data from AdventureWorks database, right? So let me just first see all the tables. Okay, so we are having these tables here. Let me remove some of the tables because those are repeated. Employee, tables. Okay, so these many tables we are going to use here for getting the data. Now, what we need to look is we need to see the joining columns. Okay, how we can join those tables together to get the required data. Okay, so first we are having the person table. So maybe we can directly take the person table first, because in that person table we are having the name of the person, right? So that we are going to take. So person name we are having first name, middle name, last name. From that, our mapping says we have to take the first name and last name. So we can simply take this, like select from, okay, AdventureWorks person dot person. I'll give some alias name here. Okay, and first name, last name we are having. So I'll just take those columns, first name, last name, and obviously we have to concat those two fields to get the full name. Okay, and in between we should have the space. So I will add one space as well during the concatenation, right? So with this, what we will get is we will get the full name for the that person. Okay, and we see there are multiple records, 19,000 records we are having. Okay, under this person table separately it is getting. Okay, let's see how it is coming to 290. Second we have is the human resource dot employee, and we have to take the national ID number for this PRPR NPI, right? So for that, now what you need is we need to join this person table and employee table. Okay, now let's see the common column what we are having under these two tables. We have the business entity ID. So what I will do is I will join this person table with human resource employees table. Okay, and we'll be using the inner join. Okay, so I will just take the join. I'll give some alias name E, and I will have the joining condition P dot business entity ID is equal to E dot business entity ID. Now from this, we have to take the national ID number. This is your second field from this list. Third is the MCTN ID, and for this again you have to take the you have to join the state province table as well, and then uh, from the employee table you have to take the row GUID field. Now to go to the state province table, if you see the data into the state province, okay, we don't have any direct mapping with either person table or either employee table. What we have here is we have the state province ID. Okay, now which is something we are having related to the state information. Okay, so state information is something like it is an address. Okay, so let's see if we can join the address table with state province table. For that, we are going to see the address table. Okay, so in the address table, we have the state province ID. So these two tables we can join together based on the state province ID, right? But now question is how to join address table with the person and employee, because we need to join these two tables with the these two tables, person and sorry, address and state province, right? So we need something there to join with this address and the person or the employee table, but we don't see anything there because in person and employee table I think we don't have the address ID directly.
No, we don't.
Okay, we don't have the address ID directly. So there should be some tables that we need to look for. Okay, as though we are not taking any data from that table, we should use that table for joining
Mm.
those like considering that table as a bridge between these two tables. Okay, and what we have that is maybe
Business entity ID.
business entity address. Okay,
Yeah.
why we are checking business here is I'm thinking we have the business entity ID under this table. Let's check. Okay, we have the business entity ID and we have the address ID. So it is a bridge table between the employees table or the person table and the address table. Okay, so let me check if I have to see the address of that this second person, okay, second employee, business entity ID 2. What I will do is I will take the business entity ID, I will go to the business address table, where business entity address. Okay, so for that employee ID 2 or employee 2, we are having address ID as a 239. So this 239 ID we have to check into the address table now. Okay, so check where address ID is equal to 293. So this is the address for that employee too. So like that, we have to go for joining the employees or the business employees or the person table with address table. So this is the table we are going to use as a bridge between those. So I will just give the name as a business entity address on. You can join with either employee or person any on business entity ID is equal to BE dot business entity ID. Now you can join address table easily and so on. You can join the state province table as well. I'll give the name as A and BE dot address ID is equal to A dot address ID. Join the state province table is on A dot state province code is equal to S dot state province code. Joins ID. Okay, so now we have all these tables joined together. Okay, now we need to look for the all the columns easily. Okay, so national ID number, and here we are having concatenation of two characters from the state lines code, MMYY of current date, and first four characters of row GUID column. So let's see what are those columns we are having. First thing, from the state province, we need to take the state province code. Then format function we can use to get the MMYY of get it. Okay, what is the function? How we have to use here?
Get it and then MMYY.
Get it and then MMYY, and then last one we are having is a row GUID field from this employee table. Now from this row GUID, we have to take four characters. So I will take left of four. State province as it is. Now here also we have to take two characters. Okay, so and now we have to concat all those together. So it will give you some, sorry. Okay, so it will give you some this values here. Okay, for the MCTN. Now what we did here, we have taken two characters from the state province code from this table. Okay, we have formatted the today's date into the MMYY because we need to take the month and year for the current date, right? It is coming, it is coming 22, 26. I think something is wrong.
Can you, yeah.
Like M should be capital for the month. Now it is coming 0526. Okay, and then four characters from this row GUID. Okay, next we are having address details. These are coming from the address table, so easily we can take, okay, address line 1, 2, and what we have, city. So A dot address line 1, A dot address line 2, A dot city, S dot state province code we are having, because state we are taking from the state province. Country we are taking again from the state province, and for term date we are adding 65 years to the employee's birth date. So S dot country region code, and now to add the 65 years to the any date, we use the dated function, right? So
Yeah.
dated function we use, and this function required three arguments, I think, right? So we are going to add the year. How many years?
65.
65 to what? To the birth date.
Birthday. Yeah.
Okay, so it will give you the new date by adding the 65 years to the birth date, right? So this is what all we need for each and every column. Now what is missing here is the first column, okay, which is important. We need to add the PRPR ID. Okay, and for that we have to take the like hard coded value P, MMYY of the current date, and 5-digit sequential number starting with 00101. Again, for in that as well, the first two things are very easy: concatenation of hard coded value P and MMYY. So same thing we can take here as well for taking the MMYY of the current date. Okay. I think I was okay. Now generating this number starting with P starting with 00101. So for that, let's see what Prashant G you have used here. So you have used right of list one, cast row number or order by select null plus 100 adds varchar 5 PRPR, right? Okay, so here you have utilized the row number function to take the row number. Okay, we know how many records we are getting here. We are getting 290 records here. Okay, so if we use the row number function, what will happen is it will find out the row number for each and every row. Okay, so let me break it down. I will just use the row number function here. Okay, as Rn. Now, when we use the row number function, what we will get is we will get the row number for each row. Okay. Now we are not using anything to order by here. Okay, we are using order by select null. So how it will work here is, okay, when we are ordering by some particular column. Okay, let's say if I'm ordering by the name here. So what it will happen is it will check for the alphabetical order. When I order by national ID number, it will check the lowest first and so on, either ascending or descending. But I don't want to go with anything like that. Whatever the first record I'm getting, okay, with this query, that first record should be considered as a first row. That's why I'm using select null here, because order by is a mandatory clause into the this window function. So we should have some order by clause there. So we are using the null as an ordering null as a order. Okay, so we got this row number for each and every record, so 290 records. Now what we need is we don't need the uh, starting from 1, we need it from 101. Okay, so if it is row number is 1, if we add 100, it will be 101. Okay, if row number is 2, if we add 100, it will be 102, and so on it will get, right? So same thing it is done here as well. Okay, what it is done is we have added the 100 here, and let me just remove this thing. Yes, P I will just mention. Now after adding 100, what we will get here is we will get the row number is this, and after adding 100, we got the number as a 101, 102, 103, like that up to 290. Okay, now this is also not our requirement. We have to add 00 before this, right? 00 we need to add 00101, like that. So how to add this 00 now? Okay, so for that we can hard code the 5 zeros first. I will just take this and copy here. Okay, now I will explain what we did here. Until here, what we did is we have calculated the row number and we have added 100 to each of the row. Okay, 100 to each of the row we have added. Now, before that 100, 101, 102, okay, we need some two zeros. Okay, two zeros we need. But if we give the zeros as it is, okay, that will not be coming as a 00, because if you select, let's say I'm selecting this, okay, for example, select 100. What you will get is you will get 100 here. Okay, but if you take this as a 00, 100, whether you will see the 00? No. Okay, because this will consider this as an integer number, and anything before the value, like before any 0 to 9 value, any zeros are there, okay, that will not have any value. So it will consider as a 100 only. Okay, but if we take this as a string, okay, it will print zeros as well, because string will not consider this as a this is not having any value. Okay, this is actually a entire full value. So that is the reason we need to calculate this 00101 as a string in a string format. Okay, so for that first we have taken 5 zeros. Okay, and then we are appending this calculated value here like 101, 102, 103. Okay, so again I will just break it down as, let's say, new, and I will comment it out. So to these 5 zeros we are appending the calculated value using plus sign. So let's see how you will get it here. Okay, so you are getting the values like this: 5 zeros and your number: 5 zeros 101, 5 zeros 102, 5 zeros 103, and so on. Okay, 5 zeros 200. But again, we don't need these 5 zeros. We need just only 2 zeros, and after that we need the actual value. Okay, so for that we are using a write function here. So from this value we are taking 5 characters from the right. Okay, so it is not like 2 zeros we need every time, right? It is not like 2 zeros. It may be, let's say, if the provider number is 1000, it will need only 1 zero. Okay, if the provider number is like 10,000, we will not have any zero. So we are not sure how many providers we'll be having. So that's the reason we are using the write function to take the data from the right. So from the right, we are taking 5 characters here. Okay, so it will give you the PRPR ID. Okay, so it will give you the your expected PRPR ID. I mean, it is not exactly PRPR ID we are having. It is like the value for the last 5 characters. So this we can use for our concatenation here, right? So let me just add it to the concatenation, close the bracket, and now you will see we are having this value here. Okay, so this is how the value is derived actually. Okay, using this formula here. If you feel this is again some complex, okay, maybe we can use some field from the table as well, because anyway we just want the some number to be generated. So here we are generating the number using row number function. But what if we have already this number into this table, again into this alphabetical order, sorry, in the ascending order. We are having this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 directly. Okay, from the business entity ID. So that also you can utilize here to generate the value. Okay, I will comment out other things so we will not have any confusion. Okay, so here we are having, so P format get date and then write of 00 cast row number. So instead of this, we can directly use the business entity ID field. We dot business entity ID as input syntax. Disclosing. We need to add
P, I think
this.
that's P business entity ID.
Okay, it is like employee, right? Yeah.
Okay. P or P.
Okay, now let's see if we are getting the expected result. Okay, we are getting is something else. P format right of this. We are not getting this expectedly right. So I was having this. P- It function requires two argument. Again here also we are not getting 0, 5, 26, 10. Okay, it is not adding 100 there. It's does we remove it? No, right. Okay, that we need to convert into the varchar, right? Because if we are not converting to it to the varchar, it will remove the leading zeros. So we need to convert these to the varchar so that we will have this zero zeros at the start. Something is missing
No, I
again.
think you have to cast, right, to change it to worker.
Right. We have to cast it. So cast row number and then select. We have to close the bracket as bracket 5. This is closing the bracket. This is closing the bracket. It is showing again. Let me break it down. So let P the first value, second value, and the third value right of this first row number or order by entity ID. So right now. They should be fine. Okay, so if you are like having confusion on what is this select null, we can use some field which is having the numerical values within the this any tables. Okay, numerical value in the sense it is like an identity value. Okay, so either this or this we can use to generate this, and we can insert the data into this uh provider table. Okay, so P0526101102, and we will get the sequential values for it. Okay, so this is how we will insert the data into the PR table. Anyone having any question on these queries here? See, it is just a one-time query we are going to use.
Or can you
Um,
just
okay,
go
right.
go through it for once again? Because this was quite difficult and for the first one.
Yes, yes.
What you mentioned, it is for?
It's quite difficult. If you can just go through it again for the first one only.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so we need to break it out first, okay, how to generate it. And we know like it might be simple for these two things, right? The first letter has a hard-coded value P and second is like month and year part of the current date. But to generate this 5-digit sequential number starting from 00101, okay, that is something we are having challenge here. And for that only we are using this row number function. So we know like using the row number function, we can generate a sequential number starting from 1, right? Because no matter how many records we are having into this any table, let's say we are having this AdventureWorks database. Okay. And if I wanted to check the row number for each of this row, right? What is row number? It is a window function, right? And how it will work? It will assign the unique sequential value for each of the row, right? So if I wanted to find out the row number, what I will do is we will use the row number function, right? Row number. And what are the syntax we are having for this row number? This will generate a simply sequential value for, and it will assign a row number. I will say rank for each of the record present into this table, right? So it will assign a rank to each of the record present into the table, and it will not miss if there is any duplicate. It will assign a unique rank number for each of the records. So row number, then we are having over. Okay, we are having partition by. Currently, we don't have to do any partition, so we will just directly go with the order by clause. Order by, if I say 1, okay, so it will order by the first column, right? So as I will give some column name as a Aryan. Okay, so it will assign a next value for not sub integer indicates as a order by clause. Okay, so it is not considering this, so I just take this as a business entity ID because it is not considering the one value. It's okay, so you will see again it is assigning the unique rank. Okay, so instead of this, if I use some national ID number here. Okay, so it will order by the national ID number. If you see for business ID 57, it is assigning the rank as a 1. Okay, for 54, it is assigning as a rank as a 2. So it is not going with the business entity field. It is going with the national ID number for calculating the row number for each of the record. So same way, this functionality we can use. Okay, and if we use just null here, order by, for that we have to use select null here, select null. Okay, and same thing we are using here as well, right? Select null we are using here. So what will happen if we are using select null? It will give the rank number for the first record as a 1 and second record as a 2 and so on, right? So it will not consider any column for giving the rank. It will go with the first record as a first row number. So same thing we are using here. Now, when we got the row number, our actual requirement is starting from 101. Okay, so this row number 1, 2, 3 to 290, that is not beneficial for us. What we need is we need to add 100 to each of this record, because when we add 100, then only we will get the 101, 102, 103 and so on. Okay, so if I simply add the 100 here, whether I will get the number. Okay, I got the required number, right? Again, 101 is not my requirement. My requirement is 00101, right? So if I have to get this 00101, I need to find out some way to get that value. So what if I will add 20 here, okay, and I will add the plus sign to concatenate this 101 here. What I will get? Okay, still I'm getting only 101, 102, not 001. Why this is happening is now from this row number, we are getting the integer value. Okay, and this 00, even though we are appending to this 101, this 00 will act as a integer value only. And anything we are selecting with this 00 at the start, okay, as zeros, leading zeros, we will not have any values for the integer, right? So it will consider 101 only. So we need to convert that to varchar, then only we will be able to get that. Okay, so if I cast this entire value, okay, as varchar. Okay, if you cast this entire value as a varchar, okay, again we are not getting that big 00, and this only it is considering that as a varchar. So let me break it down again. We need to add some brackets. First, I need to cast this value, okay, and not this value. Cast row number as varchar. Okay, because this we are giving under the quotes, so this will be considered as a like character value only. But whatever we are generating using the row number, that is considered as a uh, like numeric or the integer value. So we are casting that value, and now we got this 00101. So this entire thing we can use for the uh, for this like concatenation of the last 5 characters. But here, if we use the 2 zeros, what will happen if we are having more than 1,000 records? So let's say I'm using the person table here instead of human resource dot employee. I will use the person table. Okay, I will take to the next line. And we are using the person table. Now you see there are 19,000 record we are having. Okay, we should have this value only 5-digit value, right? But if I go down beyond 1,000, okay, you see the values are getting like 6-digit, right? 6 character values here, 3893 and then 2 zeros. Even if I go more down, you will get 7 character values as well, 12352 and 00 appending to it. So this should not happen. We should get only 5 characters, because our table, if you see our table here, this PRPR ID here is a varchar 10, right? And we already have the 5 characters. From where we have 5 characters, this is 1, okay, and these are the 4. So 5 character we already have. So this should be only 5 character number. Okay, but what we are getting here is we are getting 7 characters. So this will throw the error if we are inserting this as it is. Okay, and that is the reason we cannot just take the 2 zeros here. Okay, we have to take 5 zeros. Okay, now if I take 5 zeros as it is, now again the number will be 10 character number somewhere. Okay, if you go down, it will be 10 character number, right? But what we want is we want only 5 characters. So we can use the write function here for getting only the 5 characters. Okay, and now even though you are having 20,000 or 19,000 records, you will never have this RN column exceeded 5 characters. Okay, until and unless you reach to the like 1 lakh records, you will not have any issues. Okay, you will get always a 5 character number up to 99999 Okay, so this is how we have broken it down to get the required value. Okay, and we can just concatenate with format function of this mmyy and p hard coded value. Okay, so we will insert the data into this provider table using this query. Okay, I hope this is clear now. Maybe I'll share these queries and all right once again, so you can just take a look once again offline.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so
Okay, sir.
Then second table we are having is a MAME table. Okay, so for that, what query we have here? Okay, so yeah, so for that MAME again, we need to take the data from the Excel file. Okay, so for that, if we need to take the data from the Excel file, the first thing we need to know is we need to create some package to load the data into this. One of the staging table we can create and we can take the data, right? And then from that table, we can insert the data into the MAME table. Okay, we'll talk about this random values first. Okay, unique 5-digit number we are going to generate. So how to generate a unique 5-digit number? Using this new ID function and checksum. So what is new ID function we are having? Okay, I will just take this new ID and I will show you. So this new ID function will generate a alphanumeric value. Okay, you see here it is not just a numeric value, it is a alphanumeric value, and every time you execute you will see some new value. Okay, so this new ID function will always generate a new ID for your record. Okay, and that ID is a alphanumeric value. Okay, so from that alphanumeric value uh, we have to extract only the numeric values. Okay, because we don't want any alphabets. Our column, if you see, it is a unique random 5-digit number we are saying here. Okay, so it should be a 5-digit number. Okay, and not a 5-digit varchar value. Okay, so checksum function we are having. Okay, so that checksum function will return only the integer values. Okay, so when I use this checksum function here for this new ID, and let's see what it will return here. Okay, you see here it is returning only the numeric values. Okay, so if we are having input value like input fields, it will check and compare the values with numeric and alphanumeric, and it will return only the integer values, numeric values we can say. Okay, so that we are getting here from this formula new ID. Now it is 999 we are dividing. Why we are dividing by 999? Okay, it is not for the first one. For this we are having. Okay, so we are dividing by 90,000 to this. So what we will get from this division? We will get the 5-digit number every time. Okay, or sometimes it is getting not 5-digit number. So that's the reason we can add the 10,000 to this. Okay, so if the number is not a 5-digit, it should be 5-digit number. So that's the reason we are adding this plus 10,000 to get this exact 5-digit number out here. Okay, and you see it is getting sometimes negative values as well. So for that we use the absolute function, so we will not have any negative value. Okay, using this absolute function, we will not have the negative value for. So this is how the ID is being generated, and same way we are generating the values for the phone number as well. Okay, now the thing is in this important thing is to load the data from the Excel file. Okay, you know about this SSIS package. Okay, to load the data through the SSIS package. I'm going to explore the new thing here. You might know or you might not been taught yet, but we are having some functionality to load the data into the SQL server itself. Okay, using the core functionalities. There are some functionalities available which we can utilize to load the data. Okay, so see here, you have to select the database in which you are going to import the data. So let's say I'm going to import the to this 30 database. Okay, so right click here, you will see the option of a tasks. Okay, so you have to go to the task, and under the task you will see the options for import flat file or import data, export data. Okay, this is now disabled for me for import data and export data. Okay, because I have not like uh, installed everything that is required for this import and export. Okay, so that is the reason it is saying like this feature is not currently available in this version, or the database is not available. That is what it is saying. But if
Yeah.
you see you will see the options there. Okay, when you are selecting any database and task, okay, you will see the import export option here.
It's disabled for me as well. I tried to do that way, but yeah, I noticed
Okay.
that's been disabled.
Right. So what I have did is I have converted this Excel file into the flat file, into the CSV file format. So we can use this import flat file option as well.
Mhm.
Okay. So flat files are like text files, CSV files we are having, right? So what I did,
Right.
I just saved this file into the CSV format.
Right.
Okay. So you will see this is a CSV format, comma, a Microsoft Excel, comma, separated file. Okay, so we can use this option to load the data. Now here it is saying like import flat file. This wizard will help you to import the contents of the file into a new table in your database. To import the data, you must specify the input file and preview the automatically generated table schema and optionally modify the columns. So it is saying like you can see the schema of the table like columns, data type and all, and you can modify that as well if required. Okay, so same thing, just click on next. Now you have to see the location. Where is the file located? So I'll go here and I'll see if we have this file where it is under the claim processing. I have that file. Okay, it is all files. If you see requirements, and this is Excel, this is CSV. Okay, if I choose only the CSV and text, you will see only one file. So I will choose this file. Okay, it will give you the table name. So you can change the table name as well. By default, it is taking the sheet name as a table name. So if you want some other name, you can change the table name here in which the data will be loaded. So let's say I will be using the person data. Okay, and schema name, it is by default taking DBO. Whatever it is available into the database, you can choose the schema as well. I'm having one more schema called HR, so it is giving that. Okay, click next. Now preview the data. So this will show you the data from that Excel file. So this is how your data is looking like. Okay, click on next after previewing, and now it will have the option to modify the data type. If you want some other data type, you can choose from here as well. If you want to mark this as a primary key, you can do that as well. But you need to make sure your file is not having any duplicates if you are marking that field as a primary key. Okay, let me choose this as a date alone and click next, summary, and finish. Okay, so the data insert is successful. Now let's see in the database if that new table is created, person data. Okay, it is there. Let's see the data, and you will see the data from the Excel file or the CSV file is loaded, right? So now you can simply use this table to load the data into the MEME table. Okay, so what I will do is I will just replace this table here. Okay, and we will get this values like this. Okay, so this is how simply we are going to insert the data into the MEME table as well.
Sir,
Okay,
could you just
so
once
same way you can Mm,
I'm
yes.
sorry for interrupting you, sir. Could you once show me the process of doing this again?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just close it. I will show you. So this is the option of importing and exporting the data. Okay, and it is not only through the Excel, through the CSV, we can upload the text file, we can import the data from another SQL server, okay, or maybe another ADO.net connection as well. So whatever connections we will be able to use into the SSIS, so near about same connections we can use here as well. Okay, currently this option is disabled, so I'm not able to show you, but in the import data and export data option, there are multiple connections we can use. CSV to database, Excel to database, text to database, another database to this database. Okay, another server to this server, or maybe ADO.NET connection to SQL Server connection. So these are the multiple options we can use to import the data, and same way we can use the option to export the data as well. That means if you want to generate the Excel file, okay, from this SQL Server database, you can use the export data option as well. Okay, so this import export wizard, we call that as the import export wizard. We can utilize to load the data from various sources to the SQL Server database, or to extract the data to the various destinations, okay, or various file formats from the database as well. Okay, the import flat file option, this can be only used for flat files. Now, what are the flat files? We have CSV, we have text, we have pipe delimited fixed width format file, right? So those flat files we can use for using this option. So you have to click on the import flat file. Now click on next, and you need to choose the source of the file. So where is your file? Okay, you have to choose that file. Click open. Now by default it will have some name here. Okay, currently if you see in my database, I don't have any table with person name. Okay, it is having, but it is persons, not person. So I can use this. If I use the persons tables, what will happen? If I am giving the name as a persons, it will try to create a new table. Okay, but we already have the table with the same name, so insert will be failed there. Okay, so we have to make sure while giving the new table name, it should be unique within the database. Okay, when I click on next, it is saying like provided table name already exists. Okay, so the name should be unique within the database. So I don't have the table with person name, so I'm giving the name as a person. Click next, it will show you the data. Okay, it will have the option to preview the data from your CSV file. Click next, and it will show you the schema now. Okay, this is how the table will be generated. This will be the column name, this will be the data type. If you want to change the column names, if you want to modify the database data type, you can do that here. Okay, you can modify the column name. Okay, if I want only the first name, I want last name, like this, I can do that. Okay, even I can change the data type. I don't want nvarchar, I want varchar only. So I can choose that varchar alone. Okay, I don't want this date time too. I want this data to be converted to only the date format as per our requirement. So I can choose that date as well. I don't want small int, it should be integer. I can do that. Okay, if I want to mark this key as a primary key, I can do that. Okay, if I want to mark this as an allowing the null values, that also we can do here for all columns, for any one column, and click next and click on finish. It will insert the data, and there should be new table created now with name as a person. You can see that here. Okay, and if I select the data, you will see the same columns as well, like F, L, right, and so on. So import export wizard is a good option when you have to do the one-time insert. Okay, and it is not a repetitive task. Okay, package is always fine when we are having that when we have to use that multiple times, you can automate that. Okay,
Sir, I'm
but when
giving
you know like you're going to use only single time, You can always
Okay.
go with this import export wizard.
I see. Okay.
Sir, I'm getting error. It said error
For
inserting
import
data
export
into the
wizard.
row. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, let's share your screen. Then I will share this list.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Did you write person in new table name? What was the name that you what was the name that you gave for the new table name?
Persons.
It will be taking from the data, like from that file name. Okay, but you can choose or you can rename it any like with any name. Okay, I was given as a person's table there.
Okay. So let me do it from the beginning. Wait, tasks, and then I have these options as well. But
Okay, that's fine. That's good.
should I go with import data?
Yeah, you can go if your file is Excel, whether your file is Excel or CSV.
I have both actually.
Okay, then you can go with import data for Excel file.
Oh,
You are able to do this Excel connection using the SSIS package, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, then
Oh, I
select the,
haven't done it yet.
no, you might have been learning SSIS as well, right?
Mhm. Yes, sir.
So that time you have created the Excel connections.
Yes.
Okay, then
I
choose the data source as a Excel from here list.
You said
Data.
data on this one?
Yes, this is a Excel source, right? We have to choose the source. So Microsoft Excel, you need to choose.
Oh, this one.
Now choose the file path. Where is the file located? See, there multiple options are available for your source. Okay, so that many source you can load to the database. Okay, click next. Now you have to choose the destination. So destination will be your SQL server. So Microsoft OLEDB server for provider you need to choose.
Um,
Scroll down. Microsoft OLEDB provider for SQL server. Yeah. Okay, this is the server name. This is the database. Click on next. So using import data option, right? You will be having an option, or you will be having uh, having an option to choose the existing table as well. Okay, but in flat file, using import flat file, it will always create a new table. Okay, copy data from one or more tables. Yeah, click next. Okay, so this is the sheet one, and you will see here the destination. Okay,
mm,
so in destination, it is creating the table with sheet one $sign. Okay, you can rename the table, or you can choose the existing table as well from the drop down there. Now click on that sheet one there. So
Alpha?
you will see the drop down now. Okay, destination. So if you want to load the data into the existing table, you can load into the existing as well, or you can rename this sheet one so that you will have some valid table name. So this will be your table name.
Snow person.
Okay, you can remove this $1 as well and spaces if there are any spaces.
Okay. And then do I have to edit mappings?
Yeah, you can see the mappings. If you can just see it is float, date time. Yeah, if you want to choose, you can like replace that data types as well.
Does it have to be int, right?
Yeah, integer or small integer, anything you can choose. Okay, click next.
Is okay.
Yeah, okay. It will ask you to whether to save this as a package. Click next, or whether you want to run this immediately. Okay, there is some. It
Oh,
is okay. There is it will ask you to whether this saved as a SSS package. If you save this SSS pack as a package, that will be saved for you.
mhm.
Okay, you can save it on SQL Server, or you can run immediately as well.
I'm gonna do
Click.
both.
Can you take back and remove that option to save? Because it will ask you the source for the.
Okay.
Click
Should I
next.
just oh,
Finish. Okay, so it is loaded the data into the table. So both using import option or using import flat file, we can do that.
okay. That's good. But should I also show you what error it was saying? So if everybody who don't have that option can see it.
Yeah.
So I have a CSV file as well. Let me just put.
Yeah, it should be fine. We are just loading, right? So no need to change as well. We just see.
So this is what I'm getting.
Which file is open on your desktop?
It's just the other one, not the
Okay,
person's.
the given value. Okay, your file is having some invalid values. Okay, for string data, it is having AM, PM, something like that. It is saying on your last column date of birth.
Oh, this
Can you
one.
see the values? Yeah, can you see the values into the file, CSV file? Can you expand that column?
I'm not even sure if this is the one because I have like CSV as well as
No, your person one is a CSV file.
okay.
You selected there. Yeah, see here, it is having AM at the DOB
Oh,
column.
okay.
That's the reason it is here. You can just convert this to date first in the CSV itself. You can format from here as well, right? Formats.
I don't have a Excel, so I'll have to do
Okay.
it separately.
I
But
think also on SQL Server, if you just update the
Choose that as
field
a varchar.
as, yeah,
server.
go to modify columns right there. No, up there.
Where
Yeah,
side?
from date
DOB
time.
you can choose as a varchar.
Oh, okay. Okay, that works. Oh,
As we have chosen as a date time, right? It will look for the date time values, but we are having some AM, PM like that, right? So it is from there.
okay, I see it. All right. Thank you. I'm gonna stop now.
So for DOB, we just need to change it into varchar 50
No, it
instead of
should be
date
like
time.
date only. Okay, it should be date only. If you are having the error, you can fix your file, not to change that data type, because in our database that date is some date format, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we should load the date format only, not the varchar.
Okay.